All right, welcome to another edition of the Franklin Community High School Career Exploration Project. Today we have with us Larry Dillender, the Director of Operations at Geodis I guess I didn't really ask if there was anything other than that on the title. So why don't you tell us a little bit about the role, about the company, and just kind of go from there.
I sure will. Yeah, so Geodis is what's called a warehousing 3PL, which is a third-party provider. So we do the logistics portion for a lot of companies that don't take that on for themselves. So, for example, we serve healthcare companies. I currently serve a company called Prestige Brands, which is an over-the-counter healthcare company. We have other companies like Nestle, Frito-Lay. We do some work for Apple. So those are some common names of companies that we do distribution for. So the long and short is we process from vendor to storefront and or from vendor to your front door through e-commerce, such as ordering online and getting it at your home. My current role is Director of Operations for one of our buildings. We have 10 buildings in the Plainfield area, and we have about 2,500 team members that work for Geodis here locally. My building has about 150 people. It's a two-shift operation, and we receive and ship about 30 trucks a day in and out of the facility.
So as far as just how you got there, how you kind of got your way to Director of Operations, what kind of education background or training or anything like that have you got?
Sure. So I got a high school diploma. After that, I spent four years in the United States Army. After I got out of the Army, I was kind of looking to see what I wanted to do, and a friend referred me to a job in the warehousing industry. So I took that and started out on the ground floor about 30 years ago for another retail company, and kind of worked my way up through having some good mentors along the way, and kind of just taking on stretch assignments, taking on extra tasks to kind of show I was able to contribute at a higher level. And through a series of progressions over 30 years, found myself in the director role, which is the role that's responsible for everything in the building here.
Yeah. So you were able to just work your way up and get there.
I was, yes, in this case. And in this industry, I would tell you that growth opportunity is pretty abundant, especially with the world going towards a lot of e-commerce now. As you can see around the area, many warehouses are being built today to support that growing industry.
Yeah. So what kind of led you in this direction? What led to the transportation industry for you? Yeah,
so early on, all the way back to 1990, started in the industry and just saw that it's kind of a salt of the earth type of a community. Yeah. Folks that work in warehousing are just generally good people, and the ability to take a leadership role and help people grow became a passion of mine years ago. And so it's not just about my growth, it's about helping others and watching other folks develop along the way as well.
So you were talking, the people you work with, the salt of the earth, good people. That's obviously one of the pros that you've got. What are some other pros you see, and what are some things you necessarily don't like as much?
So I would tell you the pros of my role. I have autonomy to make decisions. We obviously have company policy and processes that we follow, but I'm able to influence the organization if I see that there's an opportunity for improvement. And then just the pros are, again, the people I work with. It's a pretty predictable schedule for the most part. It's Monday through Friday for me, occasional Saturday when we have peak volumes. The cons are a lot of times we will get surprised by peak volumes, and I would tell you, not a lot of cons. I really enjoy what I do, really enjoy the people. Now and then you'll have a tough day where you gotta make a tough decision. So when folks aren't doing their job, it's leadership's role to use coaching and influence to get people back in line and do what they need to do. Sometimes, occasionally, not often at all, you'll have a person or two that just doesn't want to conform. So kind of one of the cons is when you've got to deal with that more head on and actually end up terminating a person's employment. I would say that's the least favorite thing I've had to do, but I would tell you that happens less than a handful of times a year. So it's not prevalent, but it certainly is a con when you have to deal with that.
I can't imagine firing someone would be very, very enjoyable. So it's a good thing that doesn't happen to you very often.
Yeah, exactly. It is something you'll lament over for sure.
Yeah. So as far as you go, you obviously love what you do. You're passionate about it, and you can kind of tell in your voice. And just it seems like a great fit for you. So what are some characteristics that you have, personality wise, or anything that you think make you successful at this? And what are some characteristics or personality traits that you think may make someone not be as successful in this industry?
Yeah, so I would just tell you that I'm passionate about results. I'm a results-driven person. I'm action-oriented. I like helping others, and you can make every day what you want it to be for the most part. So if you've got internal drive and a desire to win and want to help others win, you'll definitely have great success in this industry. And through the operations growth, definitely have the opportunity to move up in the industry. If you're a person that would rather be standing on a work line or putting a square peg in a square hole and not really having to do a lot of thinking, but just routine work, we've got a lot of great positions for that, but leadership roles probably aren't designed for that. So we really want people that have a passion for growth, a passion for driving results, and frankly, a passion for team member engagement. So one of the big components I would tell you is that it all happens with the people. And if you're not the kind of person that can mix well with others, and you're kind of a very, I'll say, introvert, this might not be the role for you.
Okay. So how would someone, you think, go about preparing for this role and for a position in your field?
Yeah, I think all the way back to high school, definitely any business classes, math classes, those kind of things obviously prepare you well. A lot of the philanthropic type initiatives with people, I think, will prepare you well. I think networking is something that really helps in this industry. So the more people you know, the more leverage you have. So oftentimes, I will call on a peer, or a peer will call on me for peer-to-peer advice. So just the ability to mix with others. Again, if you're an outward person and I'll even say humble, preparing with just technical skills, computer skills are obviously key in probably any world today. So again, I'm kind of rambling here, but math, people skills, computer skills, business management are definitely things that will help you in this industry.
Perfect. Yeah, it's kind of been a good theme has been people skills, computer skills. Those are definitely things that you have to know to really be successful in pretty much any industry right now.
Exactly.
All right, I'm going to get you out of here on this one. Last question for you, just some general advice for high school students.
Yeah, my advice is, really think long and hard about what you want to do. Don't be afraid of change, because the world we live in and the world we're going to continue to live in is full of change. So, make yourself adaptable and nimble. Be ready for whatever comes at you, and whatever it is that you're going to do it with a passion. Take ownership and drive your own future with your own passion, I guess, would be my biggest advice. I come into work every day with a desire to win, and that's served me pretty well over the years.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. So once again, Larry, thank you so much for joining us today, and we really appreciate your insight.
Absolutely. It's been a pleasure.
Once again, this is Larry Dillender, the Director of Operations at Geodis. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Have a great day.